Hi there, and welcome to my February Q&A. This is Giselle Carson, corporate immigration attorney, and happy to be here with you. I am going to be answering two main questions today that I have received a lot over the last few months. The first one is, what do employers need to know about the Trump administration's actions on immigration? And as you probably know, there is a lot of things that have happened since the new administration took office. A lot has happened on immigration, but I am going to be focusing on three things that relate to legal immigration that I want you to be aware of, mostly because of what we're seeing and what we expect to happen and how you can best prepare. So the first one, actually sadly, a lot of disruption, workforce disruption. And why do I say that? Because as you may be aware, the administration just rescinded the employment authorization documents, basically, for TPS, this temporary protected status, individuals from Venezuela that are here on a temporary protected status, and they have the ability to apply for an employment authorization document based on that status. Well, that was just revoked for a certain portion of that population, which means that they will not be able to go back to work legally. And we expect that there might be other things like that come down, other TPS statuses that are revoked, asylums that are pending that get denied. We're also seeing a lot of delays in consular processing, so people that go and renew their visas may be delayed in entering the country. All of that creates workforce disruption. So stay alert, stay aware of what could be happening so that you can best plan for your team. The other one is work site disruptions, which kind of go together, but this particular one, I want you to be aware that what used to be discretionary, which was the government, the immigration agencies had the discretion to go to the work sites and check on the workers that were there on their H-1B visa or an L visa, working conditions, paperwork, all great. And it actually needs to happen. Sadly, it just doesn't happen to the people that are committing the crimes. But for all it's worth, now those inspections will become mandatory. So we do expect, and I actually have had clients that have been visited by our immigration agencies before it became mandatory. So we do expect that is going to happen. It's just scary. I know all of my clients are doing the right thing. They have the right documents. They're employing the right people. But it's just scary when an officer shows up at your workplace or your home asking to see immigration documents and interview you. So just be aware of that. And the last but not least is something else that, again, because the employers, clients that we work with typically are up to date on all of these things. But I-9 audits, we are going to see more of those happening. Again, it's just very disruptive, even if you're doing the right thing. The fines just went up to over $270 to over $2,700 per form. So you could have 3 mistakes in one form and you already could be paying $700 for those errors. So it can add up very quickly. It can also lead to the debarment from federal contracts. So you just have to be very careful, at least aware of what's happening in I-9 compliance. We may see some changes to the acceptable documents. So all in all, my big takeaway from this section that I just talked to you about is to be alert, be proactive. I will be doing some paid workshops, and actually I'm going to link below to the one coming up. Tons of good information at a very, 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 very reduced price that will give you the confidence and information that you need without spending hours online researching things that at the end of the day you don't really know what you read. So I encourage you again to stay updated. If not, you can always continue to follow me and you'll get, the general overview of what you need to know, like you just heard now. The second thing that I'm going to talk about is the H-1B cap. We're in the midst of the H-1B cap season. Thank you to all our employers, clients, for nationals that have been so meticulous and diligent at working with us since the beginning of the year, providing us the documents, the information that we need so that we're ready to register them when the cap registration opens. So that's the first thing that I want to talk to you about, just to confirm that the registration dates have been released, and the registration will open March 7th at noon Eastern Standard Time, and that is when we're going to be able to register employers that were not registered before. For those of you that have already registered, your accounts are there and they just have to be activated. So we will start registering our foreign nationals candidates soon after that. The registration will be open from March 7th through March 24th. It is not first come, first serve. So we have a window, and everyone that gets registered during that window correctly has a chance at the lottery. So we're planning on doing that. Second, that is not an update, it's basically a confirmation. This year the lottery will follow the same format as last year, meaning it will be beneficiary centric. So one registration, one passport. So this is to avoid multiple foreign workers being entered once or twice or three times, which happened a few years ago and was, again, very disruptive. And the last but not least is the extension of the cap gap. For the first time in history since we've had the cap availability, the cap will be extended beyond October 1st, meaning that it will, those that benefit from the cap gap, basically an extension of their work authorization, if they're selected under the lottery and if they were authorized to work when they were filed for the lottery, they will be able to benefit from the cap gap until April of the following year. So I wanted to end with a very positive news, which is that. Again, thank you for being here with me. I hope this is helpful. I am outside, as you can tell, because I need this fresh air and energy in order to do my work. And you're also going to hear me on Friday talk about the 3 other things that ChatGPT told me that I needed to do to stay healthy, thriving, and energetic so that I can do this work. So stay tuned for that. Talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.